Hello everyone. Welcome to SQL Script AMDP and CDS Masterclass by me, Pankaj. And we are going to have this session around 1.5 to 2 hours. So be ready mentally and learn the stuff from scratch. So I will just write the agenda over here so that you will be having the idea what I'm going to cover. We'll be learning about S4 HANA architecture, and then we'll be learning about different code push down techniques. Of course, we will see what is this code push down, what is the meaning of this code push down, and then we will see the different techniques. And then under the different techniques, we have two very powerful technique. One is called AMDP and another which is you know currently and in future for all the technology, this is the base technology in terms of data modeling or whatever. So this is very, very powerful. This is very, very important in current days and even in coming days, because based upon this only the new emerging technologies are coming into picture. So very, very important, this CDS. Start learning CDS. Fine. So let's go and learn one by one. S4 HANA architecture. So this also is going to be, a kind of interactive session. You can put your query over here, or if you want to speak, I will allow you to speak once I complete my part, and we can have the both way interaction so that you can also enjoy the session. And in case if you have some doubts, I will be able to give the answer. Fine. So S4 HANA architecture, what is this we are talking about? We know about the R3, all right? R3 is nothing but the tier 3 architecture, where we have the client, server, and database. So in terms of ECC or ERP, R3 architecture is defined as the client, that means GUI, and then you have the application server, and you have the database. So we can denote the database like this. So database can be of different type, you know. It can be Oracle, it can be MaxDB, it can be, you know, MySQL, you know. So different types of database we are having. Okay. These we can categorize under the legacy database. Okay. So in conventional ECC, this is what you would be able to see. Now also, these are present in many organizations. Okay. And GUI we can represent with the help of this. So this is your GUI, which is installed in your front-end system. And with the help of that, you access your SAP server, right? And of course, SAP server is incomplete without database. server, right? So when you send the command goes to application server, and then the application server sends the command in case if it has to fetch the data from the database, then it sends to the database server and fetch the data from there and bring back the data to the GUI. So this is how we can represent, you know. So select query, when you write in AC38 of your program, that of course you write with the help of GUI, but that program runs at the application server. Application server, if finds any select query, it fetches the data from the database and gives back the data to the GUI, and hence you can see the data. Now, this is R3 architecture: client, server, and database, right? Tier 3. 3 you can see 1, 2, 3, right? First tier, second tier, third tier. Now, the same architecture is followed in S4 HANA as well. Architecture is going to remain same, but in S4 HANA, you have GUI support as well as UI5 and Fury. So at client side, UI5 and Fury both, so Fury is based upon the UI technology. So we can simply write the Fury maybe, okay? Fury and UI5 both comes together. So this is what you have, okay? So GUI and Fury both is supported. Before S4HANA, we had the business suite on HANA. What was this business suite? In business suite, you have all the application together combined, and for all these licenses were supposed to be taken together from the SAP. That means ECC, SRM, CRM, whatever, you know, business suites are there all together come along with HANA. This was known as business suite on HANA. Okay. Then SAP came up with the product called S4HANA. So this was your ECC. Then somewhere in 2011, okay, business suite on HANA. This was introduced, and now also ECC is there. Okay, business suite on HANA also you will be able to see, but the latest one what you have is S4 HANA. So here you have S4 HANA. So in S4 HANA, you have everything of this business suite as well as simplified version of code, and data model also got changed. So if you compare this business suite on HANA with ECC, Enterprise Core Component, also known as ERP, SAP ERP, okay, then you will find the difference at this level. Architecture is same. You can see that here, here also R3, here also it's R3 architecture, right? Here also architecture remains same, but the stuff comes in the box that is now different, you know. So in ECC only you are having the ECC. All right, here at the application server you will find only ECC. In the SRM you will be having only SRM at the application server, but in the business suite on HANA all the stuff got combined together and represented by the SAP in one single box. Hope it's clear, right? And now in S4HANA, the data model got changed. When we talk about the data model got changed, that means, you know, in S4HANA, see, in ECC, let's understand the MM module. So in MM module, what you have, the Mara table, Marcy table, Mardi table, okay, and so many different other tables. So the same table also you will be able to see in Business Suite on HANA as well. But in S4 HANA, you know, at the database level, uh, we would say at the database level as well as the application server layer, both place, you know. So you know that we have the AC11, right? Data dictionary. In data dictionary, we have transparent table in ECC, right? Pool table, cluster table, three very important table. Out of these three tables, transparent table is very useful and very frequently used because it's having one-to-one relationship between application server and database server. All these table are the what kind of table? Transparent table or pool table or cluster table? Just type here in the comment section. All this table belongs to TT, transparent table, right? Very good. All these table belongs to transparent table. In business suite on HANA, when system came, you know, there also you will be having the transparent pool or cluster table, but you know, so these tables are transparent table. In ECC, we're having three different category of table. In business suite on HANA, also we're having three category of table, but SAP enforced to have transparent table. And here in S4HANA, with some certain release, they are not supporting to pool and cluster, only transparent table, you know. So in the current version of S4HANA, I will be able to see only transparent table, right? So now coming forward, we are talking about the differences, right? At the data model level. So this table, Mara Marsi Maidi, were also present at data dictionary layer because it was a transparent table, right? And the same table we are present at the data dictionary level, right? Because one-to-one relationship. Transparent, that's why it's known as transparent, right? Transparent. If you make this as a mirror, right? This will be, this can be seen from here to here, right? Both the transparent. That's why I think they have kept its name as a transparent. So now in a business suite on HANA, again the same thing, you know, but in S4HANA, the drastic change in terms of data model, you know, is all these tables, not only these three, around 20 plus tables got combined together and, you know, came into which table? Some of you might be knowing or must be knowing mat doc table, okay, mat doc. So this table also you can see at the DB layer, but at the application server layer, you know, this Matterdoc is the important table in which the data will be stored. So coming forward, going forward, this Matterdoc is going to be the important. Similarly, in the account, AC Doka is going to be the important table, right? Now also, you can see this Mara Marsi Mardi at the DB layer over here, but the replacement object concept, which I cover in our course in more detail. Here, all the minute concept will not be possible to cover, but just to understand, Mara, Marcy, and Mardi is also present because see, in large amount of codes are already written, right? Where the select query on Mara, Marcy, Mardi on the different tables are there. How you can mitigate such situation. So for that purpose, SAP came up with a concept called compatibility object, replacement object. Also it is known as either you tell compatibility view or replacement object, both is same. I will show you in the system. So here also this you will be able to see, but these tables are not exactly the same as it was, you know, here and here. Here Mara Marsi Mardi will be able to see in AC11, but uh, so you may get some confusion as well until and unless you understand the concept of compatibility view, replacement object. But in the simple term, what we should understand, you should understand that there was a drastic change at the data model layer. Many tables got merged together because of the architecture of the HANA. HANA, it supports the column storage way of storing the data, right? So because it's a powerful feature, in the Matterdoc, they combine together all the columns of the different table and put into other single table. Different tables earlier we used to create because we follow the RDBMS concept, relational database management system. There is a concept called normalization. I believe you must be knowing because this is the concept from the database, right? So normalization, due to the normalization, you know, in order to make more efficient system, different columns with the different tables gets created with a foreign key relationship. But here, because your HANA is very powerful and supports the column store, you know, many columns you can combine together and put into a single table, and that will avoid the confusion of being having multiple tables. At the same time, you are going to achieve the good amount of performance. So hope you got some basic idea about what is ECC, what is Business Suite on HANA, and what is S4 HANA. Just type C clear or yes in the comment box, and then I will move forward to the next topic. Thank you for your confirmation. Now, code push down technique. What is this? So if you remember, I believe everyone over here is from Abap background. At least you have taken Abap training if you are fresher, right? So it's very good to have the Abap knowledge rather directly going to Abap on HANA. If you learn directly CDS and AMDP, that's okay. But in order to leverage your power, in order to become a, a real Abap consultant, I would say you should know Abap. So Abap is fundamental. Abap is important. Like if you want to make your career in SAP backend technology, right? So Abap is important. If you look yourself as a backend developer, fine. So here now we are going to talk about the code push down technique. What is this? why this term came into picture. What was the reason? Code push down technique, right? How many of you already know about this code push down technique? You have heard or you have implemented. Some of you are experienced over here, right? So consciously you have implemented in your project or in your requirement, whether it is a small requirement or a big requirement, does not matter. Just type me if you have implemented the code push down approach in your project or in your requirement. Okay, or if you know. Very good. Spinoza. Okay, he has implemented. Awesome. Fine. So since most of you have not implemented or may not have idea, nothing to worry, because that's the reason you have joined this session. So let me explain this. See, the name itself is signifying something, telling something. Code push down. Where we write the code? We write code at the application server. How we write the code? We write the code with the help of GUI client, right? When we write the code and activate, that goes to the application server. Of course, means here it gets activated, right? Bytecodes get generated, right? And of course, everything gets saved into the database, right? While execution, again, it comes into memory, right? Or maybe in application server memory, it will be there. And when you execute the code, it gets executed. So we write the code at the application server with the help of SE38 editor in the GUI. Then we check the syntax and activate. So when we were having the legacy system is Oracle, Max, MySQL, Informix, the different database we have, right? Then, so we are talking about when HANA were not in the picture, 2010, 11, like that, a story of 10 years back around. Now also, if you have this database, we follow the same approach. What approach we follow? We try to fetch the data from the database and we write the maximum logic at the application server layer. For example, let's suppose if you have to perform summation, right? So we don't use the aggregate function in the legacy system where data gets stored in the row store. Okay. So we first fetch the data, and then by putting the loop on the internal table, we sum up the data and then we display the data, right? So with legacy database, we are not supposed to write the aggregate function. What is aggregate function? Type in the comment section, right? You have count, right? Mean, max, average, sum. These are known as aggregate function. Very good. Yes. Super. Navratan. Yes, correct. So count, mean, max, average, sum. These are the aggregate function. Aggregate the terms, aggregation, correct? Aggregate. So this aggregate function we don't use with the legacy database. When I talk about the legacy database, I'm talking about the database which stores the data in row storage form. Okay. See, nowadays Oracle also releasing its column storage, but we are talking 10 years back scenario. And now also, like whatever you are using this Oracle and Max, this is mostly the row storage only. So row storage database, very simple. If you have the raw storage or database, don't use this. It hampers the performance, and we generally don't use, right? When you give your code for review, your technical reviewer, your team lead, or your colleague who is reviewing the code, they follow the instruction, they follow the checklist, and they tell that, hey, you are not supposed to put the aggregate function. You are, you are, uh, you are violating the rule because this is the database. It will hamper the performance. So this is one scenario, right? So what you are doing, you are fetching the data from here, and maximum logic you are writing over here, you are putting the loop on the internal table and summing up the data, right? But when HANA came into picture, it supports row plus column, right? So if the database, let's suppose Mara or Marcy or Mighty or any table, on which you are putting the select query, if that is in the form of column storage, then no one will stop you to write the aggregate function. Your reviewer will tell why you are not using the aggregate function. Use the aggregate function because you don't have to write the maximum code at the application server. You have to write the maximum code at the DB layer. So when you use the aggregate function where you are writing the code, select, sum. So you will be writing code something like this, right? Select sum and currency or quantity value. Let's suppose net price, from Mara. If net price field is there, right? So something like that. Net weight, I think NTGW is there from Mara, and you can put directly into the internal table, right? So when you use the aggregate function, what happens that you are not using the loop on internal table and again summing up the data. Not all these things is done by the DB layer at the HANA layer, at the HANA database layer, right? So this is important, right? When you use the aggregate function, summation takes place at the DB layer. And because you are storing your data in the table in the column store, this aggregation is very, very, very fast, and that's where the power of HANA comes into picture, right? So this aggregate function is a way to push the code down, right? So many loop and all you were using over here in order to sum up the data, but here you are just using the aggregate function, correct? Am I making sense? Yes or no? Are you able to understand what I'm trying to explain it over here? Just type yes if you can understand it. Yes, very good. Thank you. So aggregate function is a way of pushing the data at the DB layer. That's why OpenSQL with the aggregate function is known as one of the code push down technique. In the new OpenSQL, that means the advanced version of OpenSQL, you can say, which supports the, inner join, left outer join, I believe right or outer join as well. It is supported now. Okay. Aggregation, inline declaration, right? And so many like case and when statement, concatenation, logic here itself in the select query, you can write it. Case and when statement, right? So when you write the case and when statement, during the select query that gets, converted into the native SQL, right? Any database can understand his own language. Database does not understand, you know, the OpenSQL or new OpenSQL. Database can only understand the native SQL. Okay. So now, because database cannot understand the new OpenSQL or old OpenSQL, it can only understand, the native SQL. Here at the application server, you have database abstraction interface, DBA, that converts the new OpenSQL or old OpenSQL into the DB native SQL. So if you are writing the case and when statement in the select query itself, I will give one example you might not be able to understand at this moment. Uh, I will try, let me see, but I'm trying to give you an overview, okay? Or concatenation, if you're writing it over here, it gets converted into the native SQL and then, it executes. So you are pushing the code down. You are not concatenating at the application server layer, right? And the same thing, the same code push down approach you can follow at the S4HANA. So code push down approach is applicable for both Business Suite on HANA and this S4HANA. That means when you have the HANA, that means you have to use the code push down, right? You have to push the code down from the application server to DB layer. That means the maximum code you have to execute at the DB layer. How? This is the technique. Use the aggregate function, use the case and when statement like that. Am I making sense? Yes or no? Usha, select count staff for Mara into LV count will reduce performance in ECC. Yes. Yes, Usha. In ECC, if you have, Mara, this legacy system, then it is not good to use. You are right. Okay. That will be having the bad impact of the performance. That is not suggested. Okay. So in case like when if you have the large amount of data, it will take time to give you the number of count. So better you fetch the data and count at the application server. That will give you the better performance. Fine. So now going forward, the another topic, what are the different code push down technique? Different code push down techniques. So the very first code push down technique, what we just discussed, guys, can you tell me? Stop. Which code push down technique I was just discussing over here, right? New OpenSQL you can tell, or old OpenSQL with the aggregate function, that also fine, but better you tell new OpenSQL because it is having many advanced feature, right? New OpenSQL. So you tell new OpenSQL, give the precise answer. New OpenSQL will be, because old OpenSQL is not having very much feature. You have aggregate function over there, right? So you might be asking then why OpenSQL is old OpenSQL is having the aggregate function if it is not supposed to use, right? So see, depends on the scenario. Like if you have the small amount of data, you can use over there, right? The aggregate function, it will not hamper the performance. But again, if you have some BW kind of stuff, that will be really, so uh, means, depends the scenario to scenario. But generally, you understand that, you must understand that you don't have to use the aggregate function in the legacy database. Okay. So the first one is this, and now the second one, which we are going to talk about, that is nothing but the AMDP. Okay, AMDP. Just I will list down the different code push down technique. Okay, one is AMDP. AMDP stands for Abap managed database procedure. Then you have the CDS, core data services. Very powerful, very powerful future of Abap technology. This is very important. CDS, then now whatever I'm going to write, you know, you can understand this as an optional from Abap point of view. Information model. This is also one code push down technique which is mostly used for the BI or BW purposes. Okay. Or in native HANA development, this also gets used. So either BIBW or native HANA development, like if you might be knowing about the HANA XS, right? HANA XSA, extra small, XSA, right? So XSA means in HANA, this is the database. In this database, you have one small application server that is known as XS, extra small, XSA, extra small, advanced. Okay. So HANA XS, XS, HANA XS is an application server. So on that application server, you can perform this graphical modeling that is known as the information model. This also is important, and it is having the three part. One is the attribute, another is the analytical, and the third one is the calculation. So these are the three. The first two is obsolete. Okay. So these are obsolete. First two is obsolete. Calculation, you know, so this is known as a view actually. Attribute view, analytical view, okay, calculation view. The third one is very popular and very popular. It's very popular. The third one is very popular. With the help of calculation view itself, you can achieve the functionality of attribute and analytical view, and calculation view is performance effective. Calculation view is still in the picture and very commonly used. Clear? So information model, you as an Abap developer are not going to use much, but if you are a native HANA developer, you will have to use. You may require to use. Okay. Then as a native HANA developer, or if you want to become efficient in AMDP, then another code push down approach is nothing but database procedure. Again, this is useful for the native HANA developer, right? Database procedure. In order to have the mastery in database procedure, you must be master in SQL script. Okay, you must be master in SQL script. What is the SQL script? So SQL script is the language of any database. So Oracle is having its own SQL script language. MaxDB is having its own. MySQL is having its own. So every database is having its own SQL script language. Similarly, HANA is having its own language, its own SQL script. So because you are learning over here HANA, so HANA SQL script you will have to learn. Okay, then only you can be able to create the database procedure. Otherwise you will not be able to do. Okay, means it will be difficult then. One way is there here, the calculation view. you know So calculation view ultimately gets converted into the SQL script because there is no meaning of graphical representation or something. Ultimately code is there, code gets converted into the machine code, and that gets, executed by the machine, correct? So SQL script learning is very, very important. There is no way to skip, right? Another code push down technique is directly the native SQL, right? Native SQL. So native SQL is a part of SQL script. Okay. So sometimes like when you have to face the data, if you remember in ECC under exec and end exec, we used to write, correct? So all these things with the example I've covered in my course. Here, everything is not possible, but let me tell you, you will be having some idea. Exec and end exec we used to write, if you remember, or some of you obviously would be using, right? And inside this we use the native SQL. That is also one way of code post time, because that code is directly going to get executed at the DB layer. Though you are writing the code at the application server, but it will get executed at the DB layer. Native SQL, another is the ADBC, right? ADBC, Abap database connectivity. So it's the Abap way of implementing the native SQL. Okay, some classes are there which we use in order to implement the native SQL. Okay, fine. So these are some different code push down techniques for an Abapper. These three are very, very important, and you should know some basics of this ADPC, because at some places you will be able to see this one. But the first three is very, very important. You can't ignore. Otherwise, you will not be a ABAPer. You will be obsolete. So if you are an ABAPer, you must have to know these things at least. New OpenSQL, AMDP, and CDS. Okay. And also you should know, like when you come this new OpenSQL, okay, from the code push down perspective, this much is fine. Okay. Now let's go ahead and see one example of AMDP so that you will understand how AMDP can be created. But this will be a very basic example, because in order to learn the AMDP, you need to learn, you need to be mastering, you know, uh, SQL script, right? And SQL script is a big topic, right? There are so many things over there to be covered. Okay. So I'll be taking one very simple example so that you could know at least that how we can create the AMDP. Okay. One extra knowledge or tips or you know very important question from interview point of view I would like to share with you is this. this AMDP and CDS, you can create only on ADT, Abap development tool. What is the ADT? So ADT is an add-on tool developed by SAP which can be installed on top of Eclipse, or you can get this ADT embedded in Eclipse that is known as HANA Studio. Okay. So this is the point. ADT you should have. So either you should have the HANA Studio or Eclipse with the ADT installed. Now let's go into the system and we will try to implement, this AMDP. So in my system, I have the HANA Studio. I don't have Eclipse. So let me connect with the system. But better start using the Eclipse if you have in your system. Okay. Because HANA Studio is again got obsolete. ADT on Eclipse is there in the picture. But yes, I can use the HANA Studio as well. There is no problem. So let me give the password and hope you are able to see my SAP screen, right? Fine. I believe you are able to see. Please type yes, anyone. Thanks. Fine. So here, you have to go to HANA Studio, not in this GUI, not in this GUI. Go to this HANA Studio and add your system by creating a project. So when you are going to create a project, it will ask you to add the system, and then that system can be used. So first you should go into ABAP development perspective. So see, this is the development perspective. Okay. This is the development perspective. So different perspectives are there in the HANA Studio or ADT on Eclipse. The way I'm going to use this one, in the same way you have to use on the ADT. Okay. There is no difference as such. Hope you are getting my point. Okay. So you can click on this and you have to go into the ABAP perspective because I'm going to do the ABAP development. So AMDP is a ABAP development, right? So AMDP is the ABAP development, but what kind of development? Actually, we are going to implement the SQL script code with the help of ABAP. Okay. So now let's come here and I will close this all. I will show you how you can add the project. You can click over here, click on this Abap project, and then, so I'm adding the system basically. So if there is no project over here, that means no system is added. And in that case, you will have to create your own project and then, you will have to go and see here. It's automatically, just will have to use the password and automatically your system will be connected. So the important thing is that by clicking on this and clicking on this ABAP project, okay. Already it's added in my case. So I will go and create one AMDP. AMDP is nothing but a class, ABAP class. Okay, so search for a class and have to, of course, log in into the system. So I'm giving the password so that I will be connected with the system. And now clicking on the next button, and here you can give your, project is this one, right? So let it be like that. Package, local package I can give, or you can give your productive package if you have to transport into the different system. There are many advantages of using the MDP. So ZCL AMDP demo by Pankaj. So AMDP a demo, click on this next button and click on this finish. So you will see that a global class is getting created, right? In GUI, we use AC24 transaction in order to create the global class. Okay, this is the transaction we use in the GUI in order to create the you know global class. But you cannot use the GUI in order to develop the AMDP. So remember this. This is very, very important, knowledge you should have, and very important from interview point of view as well. You know, you should know. Your interviewer would be interested, at least you know this basic stuff or not. So here you cannot create the AMDP, or here you can also will not be able to debug the AMDP. You must require either HANA Studio or ADT on Eclipse, right? So HANA Studio or ADT on Eclipse. So I have this HANA Studio over here. I'm using this one. Now you can see that. What is the meaning of this public means? Public means global class. Final means this cannot be inherited to any subclass. That's the meaning of final. Final means final. It's final now. Cannot be inherited. So see, the term is given very meaningful. If we understand the meaning of term, 50% of the work is done, right? This create public means instantiation. See, create public, right? Create, you can say that create public. So you don't have to get confused with this create public and this public, right? It's obvious to have the confusion. What is the meaning of this public? What is the meaning of this create public? So this create public means instantiation. This class can be instantiated publicly. Okay. This class can be instantiated anywhere, right? Public means globally visible. That means you will be able to see in AC24. That's the meaning of this. Okay. Public section. Now, another very, very important interview question. In order to make a class as an AMDP class, you know, see, do you know that how many of you belong to the workflow background, right? Or maybe WebDin Pro background, right? You would have observed over there that in order to use a particular class in a workflow, right, we use a special interface, IF underscore workflow, right? Then only that workflow can understand, okay, this class I have to use in my framework. So similarly, AMDP is what? A framework, right? Some set of rules and regulations based upon which a system is created, and in order to understand for SAP that this class is an AMDP class, we define an interface, which is, we include an interface basically. That interface name is nothing but, type here if you know already, just type in the comment section if you know already, so that it will be a revision for you. Type fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thank you for writing over here. Yes, I got it's 100% correct. IF underscore AMDP underscore marker underscore HDB. Okay. So IF underscore AMDP underscore marker underscore HDB. This is an interface. As soon as you put this interface in this class, your class is now not a normal class, it is an AMDP class. This is sufficient to make a class as an AMDP class. Now your class is AMDP class. Okay. Now, what I want to do that, I want to fetch some data from the database table and display it over here. So for that purpose, either you can create the instance method or you can create the static method. Anything is fine. Okay. I'm using the static method. Get data based upon some parameter. If you want to fetch the data, okay. So get data importing am underscore mat type mtart and exporting, you know, tt underscore tab type tt underscore tab. So this is a table type which I have to define it over here. Begin of ts underscore. So let me make it little bigger so it will be visible clearly. Begin of ts underscore tab, then matner type matner, and let's suppose you want to get this mtart information as well. matkl type matkl end of ts underscore tab tt underscore tab type table of ts underscore tab. So tt underscore tab, right? So the simple normal Abap, right? Basic object oriented concept I'm using over here. Now, one thing you should know that AMDP only supports pass by value. This is what? Can you tell me this is pass by value or pass by difference? Anyone over here? Rohit is asking, we always have to write AMDP in this. Yes, in public section. Yes, always we have to write in public section. Okay. Always we have to write. So the current code which I have written over here, this is pass by difference or pass by value. Aparna has given the right answer. Ranga has given right answer. Deepthi, your answer is not correct. Ranga answer is again correct. Fine. So see here, this is pass by reference, So I have to make it as a pass by value. So you'll have to use this value addition. Okay. So now this is pass by value. So here also you will have to use the pass by value. Pass by value means value gets copied into the method parameter. Okay. Value gets copied into the formal parameters. Okay. Reference, pass by reference means it will refer the formal parameter and actual parameter both will refer to the same memory. Okay, I will hope you already understand. Okay, now let's define this get underscore data. So if you come here, it's telling that implementation missing for this method. So come here, see loading, quick assist proposals. So it's loading, loading, and loading, taking some time. Okay. This is taking some time, so no problem. See, if the proposal gets loaded, you can simply, double click and it will create a nice template over here. But it's taking time. So what we will do, we will manually, define the method get underscore data. Okay. And end method. So this is the method we have defined. Now you can see that it is not giving any error, right? It is not giving any error. So just save this one and check the syntax. Here you will be able to see syntax check for this does not contains any error. So this is perfectly fine. Click on this activate button and it got activated, right? Our requirement was to fetch the data from Mara table. So what I'm going to do that select, right, Matner mtart from, so here select Matner mtart from Mara and into, see, now some important point over here, if you write here the into table and the table which you have defined already, et underscore tab, can you tell me this is your OpenSQL or what? Right, into table where we write at the Abap layer, we write the into table, correct? Aslam is asking, what if we write the interface in private and protected section? I think it will not work. I have never tried by writing the protected inside the protected and private section. Let's try it. I think it will not work. Okay. Good question. Let's experiment this one. So see here, you can see that it's giving the error. Interfaces can only be implemented in the public section, right? Right. Interfaces can only be implemented. So anyway, like it's the normal rule, like interface you cannot include in this, protected section. Let's use it over here. So protected or private, you don't have to use this interface over there. It will not make sense, in fact, and system will also not allow because it will not make sense, right? Fine. So now, uh, you know, mm, see why it will not make sense. Like if you are thinking on this, so think logically over here. Already this interface is having its own visibility. This is a global interface, right? Already this interface is having its own visibility. Now you are overwriting overriding its visibility by putting into protected and private, right? Already it's public, like its own visibility is there, correct? So globally it's declared and you can use it anywhere. It's a interface. Interface is like public, always public. Okay. So you cannot put here in the protected and private, but it's always public. Okay. Interfaces are always public. Just remember. Okay. So select Matner MTART from Mara into table. This one. Now tell me the question over here. This is the OpenSQL, right? Or not? Yes or no? What do you think? Sabir is saying, can we write matdoc instead of matdoc? You can write, there will be no any problem. You know, you can write the matdoc because matdoc is also there at the DB layer. Okay, you can use matdoc. Fine. So yes, this is the OpenSQL. So what system will do that? It will basically not work if you are going to use the OpenSQL. You know, it will give you the dump. Inside this method, you have to use the SQL script code. So inside this method, your OpenSQL will not be of any use. That is what actually I'm trying to tell. So full stop is the part of, you know, Abap layer coding. It's HANA layer coding. Here you are inside this method and end method, you have to write the code at HANA layer. Means this code are going to get executed at the HANA layer. Okay. This method gets converted into the DB procedure with the name called this class name equal greater than sign. Then this get data with that name, it gets converted into the database procedure. So not making very complex, let's make it very simple. You understand that code inside this must be the SQL script code. Then only the system will be able to understand. Okay. Now, whenever you are using, you know, any table in the AMDP, you have to mention that table using. Okay. So first you tell to the system that this method is the AMDP method. Okay. You have to tell to the system that this method is AMDP method. Then only you can write the SQL script code. So for that to tell that this method is a AMDP method, you know, you have the syntax called by database procedure for SDB language SQL script options read only. Like if you have to fetch the data only, right? So read only using Mara. So if you are using the two table Mara, Marcy, Mardi and all, you have to use Mara, Marcy, Mardi by, you know, using, like you will have to, you know, you have to give the using. Then only you will be able to use Marcy or Mardi. So I'm using only Mara, so give only Mara. And you can, there is no error, right? Matnar, MTART and MATKL. Just to give the comma, MATKL. Okay, so there is no error. So important point. Can you write OpenSQL in the AMDP class? Right? Yes or no? Question over here. Can you write, everyone, question over here. Can you write new OpenSQL in AMDP class? Okay, question. I put up this question. So this question I'll put up in here as well. This is a question. Okay, so answer for this you have told that no, right? See, if you understand my question correctly, I'm asking in AMDP class. I'm not asking the question in AMDP method. In AMDP method, you will not be able to write. So if my question would have been like this, AMDP method, then answer no is correct. Open SQL you cannot write because system will not understand the code which you are writing inside the AMDP method. Right. But when I tell that AMDP class, right, then in that case, if you are defining a normal method, so how you can define the normal method, right? Get some, some normal method, get underscore, data one, maybe one normal method. This is just a normal method that can also have some importing, exporting parameter, right? Okay. So this get data. So this is normal method, right? This is normal method. Okay. This is normal method. How it is normal method? Because you are not putting this addition by database procedure for HDB language, SQL script options, all these things. So by database procedure for HDB language, for HDB language, this much minimum should be there in order to make a method as a AMDP method. Are you getting my point? Okay. Are you getting my point or not? Can you tell me? Right? You can see that. This is a normal method, and inside this normal method, just put the focus over here, please focus over here. Please focus over here. Please focus over here. Okay. Please focus over here. Right. This is a normal method. Here you can write the open SQL. It will not give you any error. So you can put and into table at the rate data IT underscore tab. Full stop. There will be no any. You can see that there is no error or something like that. Correct? In normal method, you can use who will stop. No one is going to stop you. So inside AMDP class, you can have the normal method. Inside the normal method, you can call this AMDP method. But inside the AMDP method, you will not be able to call the normal method. Remember this. It's logical, na? Right? Because this code, whatever inside the method and in method you are going to write, it's going to execute at the DB layer. How the database will come to know that you have a normal method, right? Right? But in the normal method, you can call this one. Okay. In the normal method, you can call this one. Okay, fine. So you got some idea, at least some basic idea. Let me activate this one and I will show you its output. So you can call this class method from the program as well. So if you want to call from the program, call through the program, or you can independently run this class. So Abap program, click on this next button. Here give the package, Z Amdp demo, and click on this next and click on this finish, right? Because this is the static method, directly with the class name you can directly with the method name you can call your method. So get data, this is our Amdp method, and p underscore mat type, define one parameter, p underscore mat type mtart, and see this is the class. Control shift and right arrow. Okay, here you can get the benefit of new syntax and display the output with the powerful utility class. Very convenient, right? Very convenient. So display or display data, anything is okay. It underscore tab and Amdp demo. Some error, see what's the error. Parameter this. Okay, cannot be have more than 8 characters, right? Because this is the parameter. Parameters cannot be more than 8 characters, right? Cannot be more than 8 characters. So now let's go and execute this, and it will ask you to give the parameter. Okay, so give the parameter maybe raw material. So ROH is the raw material, and you'll be able to see the output for all the raw material. And here you can see that it's not filtering the data, right? That means it seems we have forgot to put the where condition, right? Yeah, here we have missed to put the where condition. Without putting the where condition, how system will filter the data, right? So mtart p underscore not p, this one is your importing parameter, so you have to use this one. Im mat type. Click on this save button, click on this activate button. All right. So you have to use this colon because this is a reference variable. Okay. So activate this one and press F8. Uh, not here also you can test directly. A standalone testing also you can do, but already I have created this program, so why not to use the program, right? So use now ROH, and we are expecting now this time to fetch only ROH. You can see that it's giving you the data only from the ROH. That means it's working as expected. If you want to debug, it's very simple. If anyone is asking you how to debug the Amdp, let's suppose if you are attending an interview, or maybe if you get an incident where you have to debug the Amdp method, so you just have to double click, one green symbol, this whatever blue green symbol will come over here. That means your breakpoint is applied. And now just go and run the application. Only the thing is that you can do this inside the HANA Studio or ADT on Eclipse. GUI will not be supporting, right? GUI will not be supporting. Okay. So here, just press F8 and ROH, and again F8. So any material type you can give HLB, FERT, right? See here, you can debug now, right? You can use the F6 to go further, or F8 for complete. So F6 and F8 you can use. F8 for complete execution, F6 for step by step. Okay. So this is what about the AMDP. This is, you have the AMDP. In AMDP, the important thing to learn the SQL script. Okay. And there are few important points in AMDP. I will not be able to cover that, but yes, you got some idea about AMDP and you will be able to work now. The important thing, learn the SQL script from scratch to advanced level, like internal table operation, because Abap is not having any relevance without internal table. Agree, right? Because the data is like that, correct? So internal table is gone, that means Abap is gone. Okay. Because we have the Abap, internal table will be there, and for that purpose, you should know how internal table operation, how to perform the loop, if else, the different small topic you should learn, so that you can write the code inside this, and you can push the code at the DB layer. And having the AMDP is, it's having lot of advantage, right? I will not be discussing that, but you should know that this is one of very powerful technique, right? So now I will create one CDS. Okay. So as promised to you that I will be covering in this webinar. Okay. These topics. So CDS I will cover. And again, like, CDS, there are so many different things. In AMDP, the overview is like this only, some extra stuff is there, as well as the most of the things is the SQL script. Okay. And here, the thing is only the SQL script and internal table operations, declaration of data object inside the MDP. So you got some overview. Now let me take you through the CDS overview, so that you will come to know how it looks like, right? So come over here and core data services, CDS. Click on this data definition. Local package Z CDS demo by Pankaj. So CDS demo, and click on this next. And see here, you have the different types of CDS. Okay. So if you see here, define view entity, this is called the new CDS. Okay. Define view entity, new CDS. This is define root view entity, right? This is used in RAP, RESTful Application Programming Model. Okay. RAP. Define view entity with two parent. So this also we use in RAP. Okay. This also we use in RAP. Define view This is the normal CDS, old CDS. Define view with join, normal, old, you know. Why I'm telling old? Because this is one new kind of CDS, or we tell as a new CDS, and the other two belongs to the wrap. Okay. So fine. Uh, define view with join, define view with association, define view with two parent association, define view with parameters, right? These all are like, you can tell till here it's the conventional CDS or old CDS, which is now also very frequently used. It is not really old, but yes, view entity is now preferred. Like if in your system it's allowing you to create the view entity, if you're getting the option to create the view entity, create the view entity, not go for old CDS. But if you know how to create the old CDS, creating this view entity is, very simple. Same way, same thing, little differences are there. Okay. So now see, extend view entity again, extending the new CDS, right? Extend abstract entity, extend custom entity, right? Define table function, abstract entity with parameters, define parent child hierarchy, define custom entity with parameters, right? The different variation of CDS. So CDS comes into three flavor, right? Either old or new. Any CDS, if you talk about, comes in three flavor. One, the normal CDS, right? So another is the CDS table function. So let me tell in a different word. CDS comes into three flavor. First is the old CDS. Another is the CDS table function. CDS table function, again, CDS table function is very powerful concept actually, CDS table function. This very powerful concept. Why it is powerful concept? Because with the help of the CDS table function, you can implement the SQL script code and you can write the complex logic inside the CDS table function. So isn't it powerful? Yes, it's powerful, right? Code push down, completely code push down technique, right? At the database layer, you are going to write the logic at the with the help of CDS. What can be better than this, right? Now, the third option over here is the CDS view entity. CDS means the third type of CDS, the new CDS which we are talking about. This is again also very powerful, with the help of, see, the custom CDS entity concept and all is there, that you can implement with this new CDS. Okay. There you can write the logic with the help of Abap and all. So the video on the custom CDS entity I have created, CDS table function, CDS. You can find many free resources on YouTube as well. Okay, there you can go and learn for free, or you can get the complete course on my website www.saptechmage.com and learn from scratch to advance. Okay, fine. Let's come to this topic, and now here let's select this simple. I'm just going to select, very simple, or maybe define view with join we can select. Okay. However, you have the different concept, association, path expression, right? Two parent association, view with parameters, big list of CDS, right? VDM concept, virtual data model, HANA search, right? Annotations, the different types of annotation. All these things will not be possible because CDS itself is, you know, uh, 15-20 hours of topic is there. I have covered in very much detail. You will be able to understand. You know. So let me show you this. How it works and how easy to create the CDS. Okay. Abap, catalog, SQL, view, name. This is the mandatory annotation. When you are going to create the conventional CDS, the old CDS, the normal CDS, this is the mandatory annotation you must have to give, otherwise you will not be able to create. So Z CDS demo by Pankaj, something like that, should not be more than 16 characters. Okay. All other things is optional. From data says, because this is the inner join. If you know the OpenSQL, you will be able to learn in a easy manner CDS, because CDS is nothing but it's an extension of OpenSQL. CDS is nothing but it's a semantically rich data model. CDS is supported by all the database, whether you have Oracle, MySQL, HANA-DB. So CDS concept is the universal concept, means it is supported by all the database. AMDP is only supported as of now by HANA-DB. Remember this. So from Mara, and let's suppose I have to put the join with Marcy. Okay. So nsdm underscore v underscore Marcy. Simply if you write Marcy, it will not work. It will give you the error. Okay. It's a inner join. In case of inner join, I think it should work, but with association, it will give you the error. So let me try. If it will give the error, I will let you know what is the problem. I'm using just inner join. It should work. Element name, Matner, and here also Matner. So on Mara and Mars, we are just putting the and uh, get some data from Mara table, maybe Matner. So you'll have to use the dot instead of tilde sign here. Now Mara dot m dot Mara dot matkl, then Marcy dot works, then Marcy dot any other field, right? AU SSS, right? I've just chosen from there. You can see that your CDS is now created, right? Activate this one, and now let's execute. Is inactive. It's telling inactive. It's getting activated. In fact, it got activated now. Press F8 and we'll be able to see the data. See here, data is coming. The very, very basic CDS. In CDS, there are a lot of things are there. We don't have time to cover. It's already approaching towards 1 hour. I have to take your question as well. Okay. So let me go ahead and take up your question, and then we will wind up the session. But before wind up this session, I would share something which may be useful for this. This is my website, www.saptechmadeeasy.com. You can go to the courses. You can explore this Abap on HANA Made Easy course. Here you can check out the different, here I have covered the new OpenSQL, new syntaxes, S4HANA conversion, information model. All things are there in the detail. Okay. And SQL script, AMDP, CDS, everything you will be able to find it over here in detail. Once you take the course, and if you are the new student, you will be part of my inner circle community, and that community you can join with the automated email after taking the courses. And in case if you get any query or question, you can ask in the inner circle live call. I take weekly once, I try to take at least one call, so, and there you can ask the doubts. Okay. and related with SQL script, AMDP, and CDS. In case if you're not willing to get new syntaxes and new OpenSQL, maybe you can consider this course. You can check it out. It's curriculum over here by clicking, and uh, you will be able to see this curriculum. What are these covered? So all things you will be able to see. And here see around 32 hours this course is there, and you can learn, like you can be master in this technology. Okay, of course you will have to practice, just by going through the courses will help you to understand the concept, but in order to get the mastery you have to do some hands-on. So if you're going to complete the assignments which I have given, that will also help you to be master in this. So for each class I have given the assignment, you can complete that one, and in case if you're facing the issue we can discuss that one during our inner circle call. So this one thing I wanted to communicate, and now the time is for question and answer. Please raise your hand, and I will allow you to talk, so that one by one, in case if you have any query, you can go ahead and you can ask. And also, like at the end of the session, in case if you are interested, you can go ahead and take, I will give you one coupon code that you can apply and you can get some discount over there. Okay, fine. So James has raised his hand. Yeah, James, please unmute yourself and you can ask your query.
Hi, my name James.
Yeah.
This is AMDP is like a SQL procedure, stored procedure type of.
Implementation of SQL procedure, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So CDS is like a normal SQL query.
It's more than that, the SQL query, CDS is more than, means extension of SQL query you can, because here you have annotation, you have path expression, you know, you have VDM concept, you have so many different types of other advantages on top of CDS you have. All those advantages does not come with normal SQL.
Okay.
Okay.
In AMDP is like object-oriented program in Java, similar type of things is coming declared.
Yeah, AMDP is the object-oriented concept. So AMDP, like if you want to define, you can define AMDP is the Abap way of implementing the SQL script. That's it.
Okay.
Using the object-oriented. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome, James. Thank you for joining. Ashok, you can speak now. Ashok. Okay. I think Ashok has lowered his hand. No problem. Sabir. Sabir, you can speak. Yeah. Shabir, you have raised your hand. I have unmuted you. Okay, no problem. Since you are facing some technical issue, again, Ashok, I have unmuted you. You can unmute and you can speak.
Yeah, good morning. Pankaj, actually, I was looking for all the template you are covering in CDS because just now you shown that actually the app and the other templates also you are covering in CDS.
Yes, most of them, like, not 100%, because I will, you
Because
can
I'm
assume most of the topic, like 80 to 90% topics are covered. Not all the
yeah,
things what you were able to see over there, because that is a huge list,
right. I understand that one.
Right. Yeah.
And suppose even also that join, suppose you are coming to inner join only, yeah, because there is so many join, but mostly we are using only 2 3 joins. But like
Right.
actually like full hands on means after getting your training we can jump into project and work
Yes,
So
yes, you can
that
do that. You
confidence,
will be having
yeah,
the, yes, that confidence. I can make
yeah,
it sure that if you go through, if you complete the assignment, certainly we are going to have that confidence. Okay,
yeah,
you will be
yeah.
able to do. Yes.
So AMTP, apart from that, actually, to what we covered today, is there any more actually, or this much only? Because CDS, I know that
The
template actually. That
AMDP
yeah,
basic concept is that, but
okay,
inside that you will have to use the SQL script and internal table operation. Means that is the template. What I have shown you today is the template. You know,
yeah, that is like
right?
based on our
So
requirement.
that is the
Yeah,
template.
yeah,
Yes.
could keep we will be keep adding to that actually. Suppose there are five
Right,
internal
right.
table or
Yes,
whatever.
yes. You should know the extra things. You have to keep the building on that. The
Right.
basics, yeah, the overview, that template is that much only.
Okay, and
Mm,
this course actually you are
mm.
also covering that like how CDS when you can be consumed in normal SE38 report at least or in
Yes,
O
yes.
data,
That
not that
that
one,
is
right?
there. No, no, it's there. It's there. How to
Okay.
consume in
Consume the
O
CDS
data,
means. Yeah.
right? How to consume in O data, how to consume in the Fury list report,
Okay. Oh,
how
perfect.
to
Yeah.
consume with the BOPF, CDS and BOPF integration. So all things
Yeah.
are there. You can go
Super.
through the
Yeah.
curriculum is the vast actually. It's on
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That actually I'm trying to drag more
right.
actually, but
Mm,
at least we are covering like 80 to 90% on CDS means
mm,
actually the once the view is created, like see, there is so many annotation in CDS itself, right?
right,
So
right.
at least we'll be covering like O data publish or like
Right. The
important
important
annotation.
annotations, yeah, important annotations you will be able to see. See, there are thousands of thousand annotations, right?
Right,
So
right. At least,
important annotations I have covered, which is frequently used, right?
right. Yeah,
So,
yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
okay.
Thank you so much for
Welcome,
conference. Yeah.
Ashok. Welcome, Ashok. Fine. So, Jwala, I have unmuted you. Please go ahead.
Thank you for informative session. My question
Welcome.
is regarding CDS. Am I audible? Am I
Yes,
audible?
yes. Yeah, yeah, Jwala. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Can we use read text functionality in CDS view to get a long text, like a material long text, PO long text? Can we use read text functionality in CDS
You
views?
can use the read text functionality with a concept called virtual element. There is
Okay,
a concept called virtual element. If you want to learn about the virtual element, what you can do that. If you are looking for some video, you will be able to see blocks as well.
okay,
But let me show you one video, okay,
mm,
which I have created. You, with the help of virtual element, you can go and you can search simply like virtual CDS virtual element by Pankaj. You know, with the help of virtual element, this is okay.
oh, okay,
Yeah, you please go through and you will be able to understand how you can fetch.
okay.
So this is what.
Okay. And one more question, can we use CDS views inside AMDP methods?
Mm, okay, I have given this link over here in this chat box. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, please tell me another question.
Can we use CDS views, sir? I mean, okay,
Uh-huh.
inside AMDP methods also?
In AMDP method also you can use, but see, yeah, you can use there. You can use the HANA view over there, because that is going to get execute at the DB layer. Okay.
Mhm.
So HANA view also or CDS view also both can be used. Just you will have to mention under the using you will have to use.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Any other question?
No, thank you, Pankaj.
Yeah, welcome. So uh others, yeah, others,
Yeah, hi Pankaj.
yeah, others, please tell me.
Yeah, yeah. I think you covered that topic, but I think I missed out on that part. So,
Mhm.
can you please explain once again why we cannot use SQL script in? Sorry, why? why do we need to use SQL script in AMDP, and why cannot we use OpenSQL?
See, AMDP has been created for the purpose of using the native
The,
SQL only, the SQL script only. Okay, so AMDP can be used for both the purposes. You can use the new OpenSQL in the normal method. In the AMDP method, you can use the SQL script. Are you getting my point?
yes. Yeah.
Both you can use, but in the different method you can use. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Main focus of the AMDP is to utilize the SQL script coding at the DB layer, right? You know that this is your DB, right? You are able to see my screen, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So if you go to the DB layer here, I'm going into now DB perspective. Okay. So here, let's uh, let me just 1 second. I have to give the password. So here I'm connected now with the HANA DB, So new OpenSQL directly not work with the HANA DB. So if you want to execute any code at the DB layer, you have to write the SQL script code. Here, new OpenSQL will not work. Only native SQL will work at the HANA layer.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, or database procedure. We create no database procedure, create procedure, right?
Yes.
Procedure
Yeah.
name and all, right? So the procedure, if you directly create at the DB layer, what problem happens, that every Abap developer should have the HANA DB, then only they will be able to create the procedure over here, correct?
Right. Right.
If they will not be having the HANA DB access, they will not be able to create the procedure. Am I right?
Right.
So keeping that thing in mind, what SAP did that, they told that you write the SQL script code at the Abap layer itself. You don't require the HANA access. Okay. So
Okay.
when you write the code over there, that code actually gets converted into the database procedure. Are you
Okay.
getting my point? Yes.
Yes.
So that's the thing actually, that is the top to bottom approach. Okay. In top to
Okay.
bottom approach, transport management also becomes very easy. In bottom up approach, like if you create first database procedure, then you are going to consume it, that is very hectic actually. You will have to create the HANA transport container and this, that. Okay. So that's why we follow the top to bottom approach. You just create MDP, transport management will be automatically taken care by the system. And of course, there are so many advantages as well. So that's the thing.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Thanks.
welcome. Yeah. Any other query? Anyone else? You can raise your hand and I will unmute you. Or else we can stop our session over here. BM Adarsha. Yeah, BM, I have unmuted you.
Hi. What is the main difference between CDS views and MDP?
Main difference between CDS and AMDP is CDS is the data modeling technique. In CDS, you can use the annotation. With the help of CDS directly, you can create the OData services. One CDS can be used in 10 different applications. Like one CDS you can use inside another CDS. One CDS you can use in the Fury application. The same CDS you can use in the report. The same CDS you can use in BI or BW. The same CDS you can use in the same way at many different like OBP, overview page, means many different Fury applications, right? So reusability is very much vast in case of this CDS, but in case of AMDP you don't have that much reusability. Means where you will not be able to use at many places, right? AMDP. So AMDP is mostly for when you have to do the SQL script coding at the DB layer. This is the biggest advantage. All right. But in CDS also you have the table function concept, but that is limited, like because that is there you can write only uh SQL script function. You will not be able to write the procedure. You will be able to write only the function in CDS. But in AMDP you can write the procedure, you can write the function, you can write the normal method. Are you getting my point? So this the main difference you can tell in CDS you can have the annotation, you can create the auditor services. CDS can be used at many places, but in AMDP you don't have any annotation concept, not any path expression. AMDP you cannot use at many places with compared to CDS. Directly with AMDP you cannot create the auditor services, right? So these are the main differences. Okay. Okay, Latesh, what question you have? I have unmuted you. Any
Sir,
question?
what is the difference between CDS and virtual data model?
See,
CDS
virtual
and
data
CDS.
model is the part of the CDS. Data model is a
What is the
concept.
basic difference? I mean,
बोलो दाल नो
Yeah.
निकाली ना मैंने कीधु नहीं है
So please mute
आवाज
from
से
your side, please mute from your side if you are not speaking. Fine. So Latesh, the question your is the difference between CDS and VDM. So VDM is the concept based upon CDS, VDM is the S4HANA way of developing the CDS. VDM stands for Virtual Data Model. VDM divided into three parts: basic, composite, and consumption, right? So generally, it's a three. We can tell something like private, interface, and consumption. Again, interface divided into two parts: composite, basic, and composite, right? So VDM is a way of developing the CDS. This is the VDM, and CDS is a data modeling technique. But the VDM, how to develop this data model technique so that reusability, the efficiency, performance, all things can be achieved. Okay, Latesh, any other people, any other question if you have? Fine then. Thank you very much everyone for attending this session. Make sure that you are connected with me on the LinkedIn. You know, yes, or you can also be connected through the YouTube. Through the different social media platform. I keep on sharing the questions, answer. The different value added stuff. So you will be having the good understanding, right?
hello, sir.
Uh,
हेलो
yes, please tell me. Yeah, Latesh, please tell me.
Sir, I have a doubt. Actually, I have joined this through my mobile. I'll ask you on WhatsApp. I have doubt. Can you clear my doubt, sir?
Yes, please tell me. Yes.
Actually, I have I have got a requirement in my current organization. So first, I haven't been working on CDS view. First time I'm working on CDS view. I have made a CDS view. I have taken values related to purchase order, parameters related to purchase order.
See, this type of question, this is not the right platform for this type of question,
Oh,
because
that
the
that
answer
is
for
why
that,
can I?
no. Actually, Latesh, it will take time. Already it's 2 hours, and
No, not now, sir. Just I'm
you
saying,
just
can I
put
ask
there
you?
in the you can put there in the group, we have the
Sure,
Abap ritual group. If someone is
sure,
having the
sure,
understanding, they will go, and because this answer of this question will take some time,
sure,
I
sure.
don't know the complexity and all these things, right?
Okay,
Or maybe like if you need really my help, we can connect later.
sure,
Okay.
sure. No problem, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome, Latis. Fine. Thank you everyone for attending this session. Okay, I think I got few question. What is the difference between table function and AMDP? Balaji is asking. I have given the answer for that, right? Table function only supports the AMDP function. AMDP supports, right, function as well as procedure. Divyans Rajput, your courses are so costly. Why not sell them for 99,999 so that more people can enroll? Yes, Divyans, you are right. But that will be difficult for me. Uh, more people, of course, will get benefit, but it will be difficult actually. So at this moment, not possible. Bhushan, you can consider that the membership option which I have given on my website. So many courses in one membership for 1 month, right? So the quality of course and the content of the course and the support, if you see, you will feel, you will understand the importance. That is what I can say. But thank you for asking this question. Bhushan, I joined 20 minutes late. I missed the HANA architecture. Will you keep the recording available? Yes, it will be there. Recording will be available. Uh, Fine. Can DML statement be executed in CDS view? Also do both CDS view. DML statement directly will not be able to execute with the help of a RAP, RESTful Application Programming, or BOPF. You can do the same. Directly in CDS view, not possible, okay? Also do both CDS view and MDP methods gets executed at DB layer. See, when you activate the CDS having, one view called Hana view, which gets generated at the Hana layer. So of course, like when you have the CDS view, its corresponding Hana view gets executed. Okay. And when you have the AMDP procedure method or function method, then that also gets converted into corresponding procedure or corresponding function. I mean database procedure and database function. So both gets executed at the DB layer. So the answer for this question is yes. First answer, for DML statement, directly not possible. For the second question answer, yes. Sabir already done. Parameswar, how we can decide which one to choose between CDS and AMDP? Okay. This will come with experience, how to decide between CDS and MDP. When you see that you have a lot of reusability, go for CDS. When you think that large amount of data you have to deal with, go with the AMDP. Okay. Fine. So thank you everyone for joining this session. Hope I was able to add some value. Let's be connected. And if you are there in the group of Abap ritual, help to each other, ask the question, get the answer. If someone is promoting their own courses and all, please don't allow to do them, because that is not the place for promotion that I have created. SAP TechMade Easy have created to manage their own resources. See, I'm taking this session. If you were not there in that group, how you would have come to know? So for such kind of session, for questions and answer, not for promotion or some different stuff, if someone is willing to start their own session or own batches, you will start creating your own, groups and all, get the leads from the different places. You can do yourself, right? But please don't do over here, because it's a kind of a spam. Everybody start doing all these things, then it will be difficult for me to manage, right? So thank you for your support as always, and thank you, BM. What is the duration of the course? Duration you can see over there, uh, on the website. I think it depends, like for Abap on HANA, it will be around 50, 60 hours around. 60, yes, 60 hours around. And for SQL script, MDP and CDS, it will be 32 hours. I have shown you, right? So cycle in S4, we don't have provision to create pool and cluster table. In S4, we don't have to provision. Yes. Yes, it's not there. In S4, it's not there. I've raised, please answer. Okay. Fine, then I think I have given the answer for all this question. Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you. And one thing I told you that, if you want to take the courses, you can use this coupon code LearnEG. Okay. You will be able to get some 10% discount, and you can enroll and you can get it. Thanks once again. Bye-bye.